Hey everybody, this is Mind Body Connection with a book summary of an awesome book called Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Phil Knight is the co-founder of Nike. This book is so much more than a book about how he grew an empire selling shoes. It's a story about how to be resilient and persistent when it comes to following your dreams. To believe in your dreams when no one else does. The three main takeaways from this book are: first, to follow your passion. Phil's educational background was in accounting, but his real passion was athletics and helping athletes improve their performance. When Phil was trying to start Nike, everyone was wearing Adidas. Even Phil thought it was a crazy idea that someday he would be able to make a shoe that would be able to compete with Adidas. But he never quit. Like so many of us, he had self-doubt. He often heard the voices in his mind telling him to just get a secure job in accounting. And his father also pressured him and told him to just get a normal job and settle down. He knew that 24 out of 25 businesses failed, but despite the odds being stacked against him, he never gave up. Phil did take a job in accounting, but just as a way to get some money coming in to pay his bills and support his family. But when he finished work for the day, he would turn all his attention to his real passion, which was designing, improving, and selling shoes. This is an incredibly inspiring story for anyone who has a job that they don't love, for anyone who has a job that just merely pays their bills. It tells us to keep working towards what you truly love and to chase your calling and don't just settle. The second key takeaway is about being prepared. There's a great quote from Les Brown which says, "It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than it is to have an opportunity and not be prepared." When Phil was 24, he went to Japan and convinced a room full of executives who made a brand of shoe called Tiger to let him be the exclusive distributor of their shoe in the United States. He didn't have any money, any customers, and no locations to even sell their shoes. The one thing he did have was knowledge and passion about the future of the shoe market, and he was able to articulate this passion to the executives at that meeting. They could see that he knew the shoe business and therefore were willing to give him a chance. Phil was prepared for the opportunity when it came. The third key takeaway is about contribution, or giving back. Phil didn't want to be rich so he could just go hide on an island somewhere. He wanted to be rich so he could make a difference on this planet. He has given over $1 billion to charities since Nike started, and he continues to give $100 million to charities every year. He also started a program called the Girl Effect, which has changed millions of lives, and it spends tens of millions of dollars every year educating young girls in developing countries. It has helped reduce child marriage in Ethiopia, and it provides safe spaces for girls in Rwanda. And when Nike factories were criticized by the media as being sweatshops, Phil could have pointed to the poor conditions the factories were in before Nike even got there. And he could have pointed to all the improvements he's made since they took them over, but he didn't. He didn't make any excuses. Rather than point fingers, he decided to make all his factories shining examples for others to follow. Nike then went on to invent a method which eliminated 97% of toxic fumes in factories, and he gave this method to his competitors for free, and all of them use it. The United Nations recently stated that Nike's factories are an example of how factories should be run in the third world. This book has so much more interesting information that I couldn't just cover it all in one video. It talks about how the now famous Nike logo was created by a student for $35. The brand is now worth $19 billion. And how Phil was struggling to find a name for the company. He was down to 3 choices: Falcon, Radiant 6, and Nike. He chose Nike at the last minute because he liked the meaning of the word. Nike is the name of the Greek goddess for victory. Now that the name is so popular, it's hard to imagine it being called anything else. I really hope you check out this book. It's an inspiring book which talks about how if you have the courage to follow your dreams, it's possible to grow a business that started with selling shoes in your parents' living room to a company that is worth $30 billion in revenue every year and has 44,000 employees worldwide. Thanks for listening, and if you'd like to buy the book from Amazon, I put a link in the description below. And if you'd like to hear more book summaries and some of the best self-development books ever written, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.